Some years ago I made a video on these spots, and then I was contacted by these 5 people from Hong Kong who are studying medicine and who would like to learn a little bit about traditional European medicine. Today we're going to be talking about 2 different kinds of medicine that is used to calm a person down, to help them to sleep, to make their life quality a little bit more gentle and more comfortable. And they are different. One of them is valerian, which we're starting our little journey with, and the other one is hypericum, which is called St. John's wort. And the difference between them is that valerian, as it says here, now let's read about it. It'll be very scientific. It's calming, it's for anxiety, it's for worry, and it's for you can't sleep. And here in Sweden, and I don't know, probably in Germany, maybe in America, possibly in France, could be in England, maybe in Hong Kong you have this. I don't know if you have this in the pharmacy, because maybe you sell herbs naturally in their raw state, is it? Or do you sell them in pills?
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
Because here in Sweden, valerian is officially sold at the pharmacies. But you can go out and pick it yourself. And you can pick it in the fall when the flower is dying down and its energy has gone into the root. And so and the roots are quite small. They're like little fingers. And the roots are what you use. And you wash them, and then you dry them, and then you can make tea out of them. And the last time I made this video, we had a Swedish guy who wanted to make valerian tea. So I gave him valerian. He made a tea out of it, apparently, in the other kitchen. And the next morning he didn't come to work. It worked very well. He slept like a baby. Okay, now what does it say about it in the Chinese? In Chinese, it's, what would you please pronounce the word?
It's called kichou.
Okay, and you can see here that let's see, where do I have here they're talking about the warming qualities and the anti-gas, antispasmic, and use it for the flu and neurasthenia. And as soon as you have neuro, that's nerves, and traumatic injuries. So it's the closest we have to the Western one, that there's a hint that it calms you down. But it doesn't, it's interesting because here in the West, that's the main reason why you would take it. Not to get rid of your gas, but to be able to sleep. So let's move on, and we'll walk here. And follow me then. This is dandelion. It is diuretic. It makes you pee. But it comes in the spring, and it's just in the spring that we talked about this before, that a lot of people feel sluggish in the spring. They feel a little depressed. And they were very encouraged by the fact that you could make a tincture out of dandelion, just put it in alcohol, or you can dry them. You can shred them and dry them and make a coffee out of it. When I studied, I'm a Heilpraktiker, which is a German degree in natural medicine. And when I studied, my teacher said, always treat the liver. Whatever is wrong with the person, treat the liver. And the reason is that the liver cleans out the body, and everything that you eat goes through the liver. Every poison you have, the liver is trying to take care of it. So this wonderful thing, it's called the polycrest. It's good for so many things, and it's diuretic. It stimulates pancreas juices and gall. And getting to that, it's yellow. You have a flower, and it imitates the thing in the body. So this is imitating bile.
Bile.
Excellent. 1 point for you. And a gold star for holding the book. You can also notice that in the spring, a lot of the things that go wrong with you are things that are from poisoning. Because in the spring, according to the Taoist, when you study acupuncture, the liver does its house cleaning. They connect the liver with the eyes. The eyes see the light, and the liver says, it's light out. I better clean my house, spring cleaning. And then when all the toxins come out, it's a very good thing to make yourself some dandelion coffee. And did I tell you how to do that? You shred it, put it in the oven, and then you have a whole bottle full of it, which you can just, and it's very tasty actually. I have noticed that when you need something, it often tastes good. We talked about that too. So what about it in Chinese?
Oh, it's called 蒲公英.
It's against fever. It's bitter. So bitter, remember if you ever throw up and the only thing left that comes up is gall, that's bitter. And if you just eat dandelion leaves, they're bitter. You can use the leaves in salad in the spring. And interestingly enough, they taste good because you need them. Not for everybody, but... So fever detoxifies, breaks up congestion, good for stomach. And you make a decoction. That's what the Chinese book says. So let's move on. See what else. This is what we call in Swedish groblad. If you look at the other video, it will have the word groblad printed out on it. And groblad is called plantago. And in America, you call it dock. This thing is a wonderful thing. You know, it doesn't look like much. And the poor little thing, when you walk, you step on it. It grows very often where you're walking. So maybe it likes to be stepped on. You can see it on the paths and here. And I have made a tincture of it and given it to somebody who just had oral surgery. And the surgery, it actually was better than aspirin. But actually, it has a very good pain-killing quality. This is very important for medical people because people come to you because they have pain very often. They don't know they're sick otherwise. So this was for the oral surgery. It was just they chewed on the leaf, and it was just this in alcohol. And you can do the thing that the alcohol itself won't do it. You need the herb in there. So it's called Plantago Major, and it's for cough, anti-inflammation, and anti-itching. Very good thing to know, isn't it? Cures sores. You can make a tea, you can make a syrup. You can, it's good for bronchial tubes. Here is the Chinese version of it.
Oh, it's called 车前, and it also has a nickname called 猪耳朵, which means pig's ear, because the leaves, the shape of it looks like pig's ear.
Pig's ears?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what the Chinese one says.
It says it's good for treating urinary tract infections, acute conjunctivitis, nephrotic edema, and urethral stones and difficult maturation. So basically, it's to treat different urinary tract conditions.
Yeah. So here we add to that.
Yeah.
Because we already have this. But I tell you what I do with this. Almost everybody who comes to this farm and experiences stinging nettles or bug bites knows what this is, because I always say, go out and pick this, chew it a little bit, and put it directly on there. And Susanna and Tiffany and I were out doing our own little nature walk. We were doing some work. And both of them got nettle stings. And you don't have nettles in Hong Kong, do you?
Not that I know of.
So they never experienced it before. So we took the leaves of this dock, chewed them a little bit, put them on their different problems, and the pain went away. The itching went away.
It did.
In here are apple trees, raspberry bushes, and then a bunch of herbs. This is one of my favorite things. This is Hypericum perforatum. You have it in your book as well. Can you find it?
Yep.
And the difference is that in Chinese they call it samsami,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Samsoni.
but and what is it good for in China, in Chinese?
It's good for wait, just a minute. Diarrhea, infection and swellings, and also poisonous snake bites, and menstrual irregularities, backache, traumatic injuries, burns, cuts, epistaxis, and incomplete breakout of measles rash. So yeah, that's it.
Here's the thing. This is supposed to be the blood of St. John. That's why it's called St. John's wort, an old English way of speaking. And I don't know if it'll work now, but if you rub it, it turns red. Turns red. And now it's time to hold up the bottle. I can, if you want. In here is last year's St. John's wort. All it is St. John's wort and oil. And as soon as I put it in there, it started to let out its red color, the blood of St. John. And what I like about this, I'm sure it's good for all of those things, I know it is, that were mentioned in the book, in the Barefoot Doctors Manual. But here in Sweden, we use it mostly for the nerves. Also sold in the pharmacy in pills, yellow pills, and the plant is yellow. It's good for the nerves too, which is why I put it, the actual nerves in your body, which is why I put it in in oil. You can use olive oil, you can use any oil that you have in your country. This is rapeseed oil, which is indigenous to Sweden, grows in Sweden. And it's very good for you just put it on your muscles after a hard day's work. But you can also make a tea from it, from the leaves or and that calms you down. And as I said in the beginning, there's a difference between how you are calm from valerian. Valerian affects the heartbeat, heart palpitations. So your body gets calm. It relaxes your body. This goes in the nervous system. And the nervous system, if it's good for the stomach, did you find something for the stomach there?
Diarrhea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And diarrhea you often get when you're nervous. So the stomach has a lot of nerves. And so when a person is nervous, the nerves in the stomach feel it. So we found a connection between the East and the West. Hurrah! So then the last thing is something which was not on the agenda, and it's here. This is meadowsweet. And in Swedish we call it älgört. Älg is elk. So the herb, I don't know if elks like to eat this or not, but there it is. And when it's finished growing up, it's going to have fluffy flowers. Do you see how nice and fluffy it is on the top? And if you would take this and make syrup out of it, you have really good things for colds. And it was very helpful for headache. It works just like aspirin. So this is the end of the nature walk. And I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot of things. And we'll go on to be regular doctors who know a little secrets about Western medicine. And there's the group.